friends, welcome to reading. So today we will read about two friends who get angry with each other. So I remember when I got angry at my friend's house for breaking my favorite sunglasses. And my friend asked to borrow the sunglasses because she's my friend, I wanted to share them, and so I let her wear them. But she accidentally broke them. And I was really upset. I was very disappointed because they were my favorite pair and I thought that she would be careful with them. But after a little bit, she apologized and I apologized too and said sorry, and we forgave each other. So I know when you forgive someone, you stop being angry with them and you stop being upset at them, and you become friends again. So I see in the picture, it looks like they are friends again. They're hugging and it looks like they're ready to spend some time together. So today we're going to be reading Matthew and Tilly. Rebecca C. Jones wrote the words and Beth Peck drew the pictures. So on this cover, it looks like I see maybe Tilly and Matthew. It looks like maybe they live next to each other. Seems like they're looking at each other. Their windows are right next to each other. And I wonder maybe if that's how they became friends. Maybe they're neighbors. And I'm not sure why they get angry at each other, but let's read and find out. Matthew and Tilly were friends. So, like I said before, I know that friends share things with each other. And as you can see from the picture, it looks like Matthew and Tilly are sharing an umbrella because it's raining outside. They rode bikes together. They played hide and seek together. So it looks like maybe there's a supermarket behind Matthew and Tilly. And I know I go to the supermarket to buy groceries or food, and it looks like Matthew and Tilly are playing hide and seek. So I think hide and seek is that game where one person hides, which in this case it seems to be Tilly, and the other person tries to find them, and it seems like that is Matthew. So I imagine that Matthew and Tilly seem like they have a lot of fun together. You know, riding bikes, playing hide and seek, and I think they must enjoy each other's company and being together. It seems like they're with each other or together, which means to be with another person a lot. And let's see what else they do together. They sold lemonade together. When business was slow, they played sidewalk games together. So Matthew and Tilly created a business. And a business is when you sell something in exchange for money. So Matthew and Tilly, they would give a customer or someone who is buying the lemonade, they would give them the cup of lemonade, and then the customer would give them 25 cents for the lemonade. And I see it looks like maybe some of their neighbors are around. I wonder if their neighbors supported Matthew and Tilly's lemonade business and bought a cup of lemonade from them. And sometimes they ate ice cream cones together. So now Matthew and Tilly, they're supporting another business. So they're supporting the ice cream shop, and they are the customers now. So it looks like they probably gave the man at the counter money, and in exchange for the money, the man gave them ice cream. So I wonder if Matthew and Tilly maybe used some of the profit or the money that they made from the lemonade stand to buy the ice cream. Once they even rescued a lady's kitten from a tree together. So I see Matthew's all the way up on this high ladder, and he had to climb all the way up there to get the kitten from the tree. He rescued the kitten, or he saved the kitten from harm or from hurting itself. And I know that when you rescue someone, sometimes you might be a little scared, especially because Matthew had to climb all the way up this ladder. But he was really brave, and he wasn't scared at all. He still saved the kitten for the lady. And it even looks like Matthew and Tilly here are working together to save the lady's kitten. I see Tilly's on the ground and Matthew's handing her the kitten. It even looks like all of their neighbors are watching them. And they look like they're so impressed and proud of Matthew and Tilly for being so brave and saving the kitten from falling. The lady gave them money for the bubblegum machines. So later, they chewed gum together and remembered how brave they had been. So I bet the kitten's owner, the lady, was so relieved that Matthew and Tilly saved the kitten from the tree. And it was so nice because Tilly and Matthew are friends and they both shared the money that the lady gave them. And they used it for the bubblegum machines. So I know a machine is just like something that they put the money in the bubblegum machine and then the bubblegum came out. And a machine has moving parts, so it works together to do a job. And Matthew and Tilly both got to enjoy the reward that the lady gave them for saving the kitten. How do you think Matthew and Tilly feel? Yeah, I think they're pretty proud of themselves for being so brave. Sometimes, though, Matthew and Tilly got sick of each other. One day, when they were coloring, Matthew broke Tilly's purple crayon. He didn't mean to, but he did. So Matthew and Tilly are friends, and they enjoy spending time together. But sometimes we get upset with our friends, and so do Matthew and Tilly. They get upset with each other. What Matthew did by breaking Tilly's purple crayon, it was an accident. It wasn't on purpose. But Tilly's still upset about it. And I remember in Letter to Amy when Peter accidentally, he didn't do it on purpose, bumped into Amy. And Amy fell on the ground and she was all wet. And she was really upset at Peter. She ran away. And Peter didn't think that Amy would forgive him and come to his birthday party. But Amy ended up forgiving Peter and going to his birthday party. So we know that friends, sometimes they get upset with each other. "You broke my crayon," said Tilly in her crabbiest voice. "It was an old crayon," said Matthew in his grouchiest voice. "It was ready to break." "No, it wasn't," said Tilly. "It was a brand new crayon, and you broke it. You always break everything." "Stop being so picky," Matthew said. "You're always so picky and stinky and mean." "Well, you're so stupid," Tilly said. "You're so stupid and stinky and mean." So, from what it looks like, Tilly's pretty upset. And she seems even a little bit annoyed or crabby that Matthew broke her crayon. And now it looks like Matthew and Tilly are being pretty mean to each other right now. They're saying really mean words. And they both seem very frustrated. They both seem like Matthew doesn't understand why Tilly is so upset. And Tilly doesn't understand why Matthew doesn't understand why Tilly is upset. But Tilly says it was a new crayon, and Tilly is blaming Matthew. And when you blame someone, it means you think that person is responsible for what happened. So I even see in Matthew's face right here, he looks just like the guy on the card. He looks like very confused and frustrated as to why he's being blamed. Matthew stomped up the stairs by himself. So I know stomped means when you walk super heavy on the ground. And Matthew stomped because he was so angry at Tilly. And I know when I stomp, it's because I'm really frustrated and annoyed. And Matthew looks pretty frustrated. I see that he has his hands on his head and he looks very frustrated. Tilly found a piece of chalk and began drawing numbers and squares on the sidewalk by herself. So now they're both alone because they're both angry with each other. And I don't know, I don't think Tilly looks like she's having much fun, and I don't think Matthew looks like he's having much fun either. How do you think Tilly feels right now? Yeah, I think she feels really alone and sad without Matthew, and sad about the argument they just got in. Upstairs, Matthew got out his cash register and some cans so he could play store. He piled the cans extra high and put prices on everything. This was the best store he had ever made, probably because that picky and stinky and mean old Tilly wasn't around to mess it up. But he didn't have a customer, and playing store wasn't much fun without a customer. So I think Matthew is starting to realize how much he enjoys Tilly's company and how much he enjoys spending time with her. And he can't have fun playing this store alone. And to own a business, we know that you need customers or people to buy your product. And Matthew doesn't have any customers for his store right now. Tilly finished drawing the numbers and squares. She drew them really big with lots of squiggly lines. This was the best sidewalk game she had ever drawn, probably because that stupid and stinky and mean old Matthew wasn't around to mess it up. But she didn't have anyone to play with, and a sidewalk game wasn't much fun without another player. So I see Tilly looks kind of like how Matthew did in the stairs. Tilly looks, she has her hand on her head. She looks frustrated. She also looks sad and alone because she can't play her sidewalk game by herself. And I think Tilly might also be beginning to realize that she enjoys Matthew's company and she misses him. Matthew looked out the window and wondered what Tilly was doing. Tilly looked up at Matthew's window and wondered what Matthew was doing. She smiled, just a little. That was enough for Matthew. "I'm sorry," he called. "So am I," said Tilly. So Matthew and Tilly said some pretty mean things to each other. But what's important now is that they both realize that they have a lot more fun playing together than playing alone. And it's important because they both apologized and said sorry to each other. And Matthew forgives, and he stops being angry at Tilly, and Tilly forgives Matthew. So I remember that forgiving means that you stop being angry with someone, and you become friends again. How do you think Tilly and Matthew feel? Yeah, I think Matthew and Tilly are very relieved, or just very happy that they aren't mad at each other anymore, and they're excited to be able to play together again. Matthew ran down the stairs so they could play. I think Matthew's pretty eager. He's pretty excited because he missed playing with Tilly. Together again. Friends, I hope you enjoyed reading with me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!